this is to end in fire, then we shall all burn together. Watch the flames climb high into the night, calling out fire.
Hello lovelies, it's Sandal from Substance Over Style and welcome to a new video. So I'm very groovy today in my orange outfit because today we are talking about the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra, which is located right in your womb space if you're a woman. If you're a man, then it's your around the area of your reproductive organs. It's your second chakra, and it is the seat of your personal power, and it's where your sexual energy resides. Now, sexual energy is creative energy, so you can use sexual energy obviously to create life, but you can also transmute it and use it to share your gifts with the world. It's also not just the seat of your personal power, it's also how you connect to your body. So it's to do with pleasure, it's to do with sensuality, it's the seat of your emotion, and because of these reasons, it's very, very tied to the sacred feminine, because sexual energy is tied to the sacred feminine and creativity. Men also have sexual energy, of course, because men also have feminine energy. We both have masculine and feminine energy, and it's about uniting the two. So men will tend more to disperse their sexual energy as an offering to the feminine. She will take the seed and then she will create life from it. And this is the kind of balance between masculine and feminine that happens, not just externally, but also within the self, because as within, so without. So imbalances with the sacral chakra can result in feelings of low self-worth, feelings of competitiveness, jealousy. They can manifest as sort of control dynamics in relationships, so codependency, narcissism, which both stem from a lack of self-love. So to kind of heal that, if you're experiencing those dynamics in your intimate partner relationships, or even in any kind of relationship, balancing your sacral chakra is really, really key, and kind of connecting with your feelings of self-worth, personal power and self-love are so important. I mean, do I really need to explain why? If you've experienced any kind of sexual trauma in particular, you may have a really imbalanced sacral chakra. It may be underactive or it may be overactive. So this can result in feelings of fragmentation, dissociation, emotional numbness. Sexual dysfunction is really common with sacral chakra imbalances. So you may be either completely frigid and fear intimacy and be blocked to both emotional and physical intimacy. Or you may be going the complete other way, and I mean, they're both two sides of the same coin. We're talking about the hermetic principle of duality here, which teaches that extremes meet, and that things are dual in nature, but they are the same thing, really. So fear of intimacy can result in either blocking yourself to any kind of interaction with people, or sex addiction and promiscuity. So in order to experience healthy relationships and healthy intimacy, balancing the sacral chakra is really, really key. I'm gonna do a DIY in this video, because the way that I really like to use essential oils is topically. I like to kind of create an oil blend, and the reason why I like to do this is because I'm not really a fan of commercial moisturizers, because they contain parabens, xenestrogens, which are basically they're similar to estrogens but chemically slightly different, because they're generally made by pharmaceutical companies so that they can patent them, and they disrupt your hormonal system and cause a lot of damage, and they can also really affect your relationships as well. I'm sure a lot of you know that taking hormonal contraception in particular can really, really disrupt your natural hormonal system, and can cause you to even become attracted to people that you wouldn't otherwise be attracted to were you not taking those hormones. So I don't use moisturizers either, because they can really disrupt your endocrine system and your hormonal regulation, and I prefer to moisturize my skins just using face oils and body oils and things like that. It's just much more natural, and it's more nourishing for your skin as well. And using essential oils has been part of my beauty regime for the last 10 years, you know, ever since before I started modeling, even, because I talked about in my vegan story how I went on the Depo-Provera injection, and I had untold side effects and all kinds of health problems as a result. I became very depressed, and that's when I started researching all this stuff. So now I want to share that information with you. So I'm going to do a lovely little DIY body oil. So you can use this body oil to moisturize your skin. It's also great as a massage oil, because again, if you're trying to experience healthy intimacy with a partner, it's like really good to kind of bring those oils into that kind of very sensual, intimate practice with your partner. Or you can also do it as a self-love ritual, like after you come out of the shower, anoint yourself with body oils. It will really help you connect to your body. It will help you to connect with your feelings of self-love, self-worth. It's a form of glamour magic as well, so it will really help you become more alluring. If you don't have a partner in your life, it will help you kind of attract one to you, because you're kind of radiating with that sort of glow of like self-worth and self-love and an abundance mindset, not just in terms of financial abundance, but love abundance as well, because they are quite closely linked. Right, so okay, so the first oil that I'm going to talk about that I don't actually have here, because I've run out, but you should get and you should include in this blend, is Bergamot, which is a citrus oil, and it really helps with feelings of self-worth, self-acceptance. It's uplifting yet also calming. A lot of these oils that we're working with are balancing, so depending on where you are, whether you've got an underactive or an overactive sacral chakra, a lot of these oils will help bring you back into balance. So this one, you know, if you're feeling harmonizing, balancing. Okay, so a lot of the oils that I'm going to talk about, so for example, yeah, so depending on whether your complaint is a skin complaint, if you have acne, whether you've got acne or whether you've got dry skin, chapped skin or wrinkles, a lot of these oils will actually help to balance and regulate and kind of bring it back into the middle, if you know what I mean. Or same with the emotions. If you're feeling depressed or anxious, it will help, you know, calm you if you're anxious, or it will help to lift your spirits if you're feeling depressed and in a funk. Same with your hormones. A lot of these oils will help regulate your hormones. So Bergamot in particular helps you recognize your uniqueness. So if you're feeling competitive and jealous and like comparing yourself to other people, all of these stem from a lack of self-worth and a lack of personal power. So Bergamot will really help you realize that you are not in competition with anybody except who you were yesterday. So that's a really good one to have. It's great for attracting abundance because it helps to balance your sexual energy. As you transmute it into your creativity. Problems with your sexual energy basically result in, you know, where people feel like they have to trade sexuality in return for resources. As you start to transmute your sexual energy up into the higher chakras, you realize that it's not this energy down here that needs to be traded for resources. It's your creativity that you offer with the world that then attracts that abundance to you to assist you in sharing that with the world. And I talked about that also in my video, Natural Law, the Real Law of Attraction, that when you're in alignment and sharing your gifts with the world for the good of all, then the universe conspires to help you do that. So these oils are also going to assist you in that. Okay, so Clary Sage is really, really good for hormonal regulation. So if you've got PMS, if you've got menstrual cramps, it can really help with that. And if you do have painful periods, it is often a sign of an imbalanced sacral chakra. I have really, really crippling period pains, and using these essential oils plus yoni steaming as well has really, really helped. Don't put the essential oils in the yoni steam though, but I'll talk about yoni steaming in another video. Clary Sage can also help with bowel disorders. So bowel disorders and digestive issues can also be a sign of an imbalanced sacral chakra. Anything that's kind of going on around this area is usually to do with a problem with that energy center. So Clary Sage is a great one. Neroli. Now, neroli is like a real aphrodisiac. Quite a few of these are aphrodisiacs. So neroli, patchouli, rose, sandalwood, ylang, and jasmine. All of these help promote healthy intimacy, healthy sexuality. So neroli has amazing skin benefits. So it helps with scars, it helps with wrinkles, it can brighten your skin, helps with hormonal regulation, it helps to balance your sex drive. Again, it promotes healthy intimacy. If you're pregnant, it can help with that, but do a little bit of research on how it works, because I'm obviously not an expert on that, and you will have to consult your physician if you are pregnant. It helps to ease anxiety, stress, and trauma. It helps with positive thinking as well. So if you're feeling in a funk and you got that that racing brain that comes with anxiety, or negative, you're getting into a negative spiral, is it like that happens with depression, it will help kind of just lift that. Same with the orange is also the citrus oils will really help to kind of lift depression, jealousy, competitiveness. They just kind of bring you into your uniqueness. Patchouli as well is great for balancing feminine energy, because it brings you back into your body. So it helps you keep you present, and that's very much connected to the feminine, because the feminine is all about being in the body. It's about the emotions. The masculine is more thoughts. It's your thoughts, the divine. So thoughts, emotion is the sacred feminine, and then divine child is action. So when your thoughts and your emotions are aligned, then you can move forward with right action in the world. And patchouli really helps you to align with that, so that you can channel that sexual creative energy in the right direction. What else helps with that? Rose helps with that, because rose is really good for helping you connect with unconditional love. So even though rose is traditionally an aphrodisiac, and it helps you connect with a partner, the way that it does that is by connecting you with source consciousness. Because when you're connected to that unconditional love, then you're able to, it can dissolve the differences and conflicts that you have with other people, and really help you kind of channel, helps you unite those two energies, the masculine and the feminine, so that you can actually connect with an intimate partner in a more divine kind of partnership. Same with sandalwood. Sandalwood is very similar. It kind of helps you channel those two energies and kind of move the kundalini up the spine. That's why sandalwood has traditionally been used in South Asia in temples and things like that for spiritual purposes. Again, sandalwood is also great for balancing the holy trinity of divine masculine thoughts, divine feminine emotions, and divine child action, to kind of unify you with your purpose and your mission in life. So all of these oils are amazing for promoting healthy intimacy, healthy feelings of self-worth, self-acceptance, acknowledging your unique gifts and talents, and balancing your sexual energy and helping you transmute it into creative energy that helps you share your gifts with the world and attract abundance. So understanding the link between that sexual energy and abundance is really key, because abundance is so much more than just money. Like, we money is just it's the IOU basically, but abundance comes in so many forms. I can do another video where I talk about that, but I touched on it a little bit in the natural law video. Okay, now we're going to get into the DIY, because I feel like I've talked quite a lot and we're on 15 minutes now. So all you need is a bottle. I've got a little funnel, which is optional, but it just keeps things tidier. This is just a lovely little bottle that I bought from a thrift store, because I'm a bit of a zero waster, as you guys know. And then I've got almond oil, which I used in my other video as well. I'll put a link in the description box below to where you can buy that. I bought mine from the soapery. Again, I said I didn't really like how it came in the plastic bottle, but I didn't know that it was going to come in the plastic bottle. Oh, okay, look. My funnel doesn't fit. Alright, we're having some technical issues. Okay, so we're just going to go. We're going to freestyle it without the funnel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to half fill the bottle with almond oil. Okay, that'll do. And I'll top it up later. Okay, so let's start with the sandalwood. So good. Okay, so I'm just going to put like 3 drops of each one in. Neroli. Okay, so how many? Well, actually, so 12 drops in 30 ml. I reckon that's about 60 ml, maybe. I mean, I'm just guesstimating. Like, I don't know. It's not an exact science, because the thing is, when you're measuring drops aren't exact either. This one's patchouli. Patchouli. I love the smell of patchouli. Oh, so good. It's kind of masculine, actually, the way that it smells. It's kind of masculine and feminine at the same time. It's so delicious. I love all of these fragrances, I have to say. They do say that you can tell if somebody's a little bit out of balance by if they find the fragrance too overpowering. So maybe my sacral chakra doesn't need work. But, oh, that jasmine, actually, I don't like the smell of that jasmine. It smells a bit pongy. So clearly my sacral chakra needs work. So yeah, 3 drops of this. That was 4. It's fine. I think I need a bit more of the jasmine. Clary Sage. Yeah, this one's great if you got PMS. I actually used it when I had my period earlier this month, and it really helped. You just mix it with a little bit of almond or coconut oil and rub it on your belly, and then put a heat pad on top. Go to sleep with a good book and some herbal tea, like a raspberry leaf tea is great when you got your period. Oh God, I love red tenting. I used to hate when I get my period, but now I really, really enjoy it, because it just gives me an excuse to just take 2 days off and just read books and just lie in bed and eat chocolate. And I think if you're trying to balance your feminine energy, if you tend to be a bit more sort of left brain dominant like me, I think it's quite important to honour your moon time. Because if you're just going, okay, well, I'm on my period, but I'm not going to take a day off. I understand that not everybody has the privilege of taking a day off. But that's why I think it's important that they actually like give women paid sickness, you know, in the workplace when you get your period, because just being in so much in like your yang energy when you get your period, it's not good for you, and it's not good for the planet, because you know we're just already so left brain dominant, and look at all the problems that it's causing. So as within, so without. So if you balance the feminine energy within yourself, then you actually start to balance the feminine energy on the planet. So this is why I say that like healing the self is so important, because as you heal the self, not only are you healing your ancestors that came before you, but you're also helping to heal the collective. Because and this is not like woo stuff, like this is scientifically this has been, you know, shown in scientific experiments. I'll put a link to Greg Braden's book, The Divine Matrix, where he actually talks about you know, how scientists have basically figured out that we live in a holographic universe, and that if you change one aspect of a hologram, then the entire hologram changes. So he kind of puts it together in a very scientific left brain way. And so for me, as a very left brain dominant person, or was when I read that book, it completely opened my mind. So I mean, read it yourself and then see what you think, but I reckon if you're already on this video, then you probably already, I don't need to convince you. Orange, I love this one, and this one is really good for rounding out, because some of these fragrances have got quite low notes and are quite sort of have a sort of deeper sort of tone. I don't know how to describe. How do you describe what a smell smells like? They're just quite earthy. So this one's much more uplifting. The citrus one, the orange one. Same with rose as well. It's more of like a mid note, so that also helps to round it out. Ylang ylang. Oh, that one's lovely. Oh, I love ylang ylang. Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of these oils will really also help to balance out your skin as well. So they help with like scarring. They help with wrinkles as well. So you can add them to face oils as well. And, you know, stretch marks, scars, things like that, you know. Brightening as well. Particularly citrus oils have a real brightening effect. So for me, because I model and I do quite a lot of swimwear and lingerie at times as well, I need to have like all of my skin looking really radiant, not just like my face. I do like feet and hands as well, so my hands and feet need to look like, basically every part of me needs to look perfect. So all of this stuff is quite important. Yes, so that one's rose. Oh, so good. Rose is just so... Rose is great for the heart chakra, actually, if you're trying to balance that one. And it smells like it as well. It's really, really good for if you've experienced a recent trauma. So it's supposed to be the best oil if you've got experienced like a recent bereavement. Rose is great for that because it really helps to calm anxiety and depression. So that's a really good one to actually put in a diffuser if you're feeling depressed. Okay, let's tap this up. So this is, I don't know if I said before, because this is now my third time recording this video, but this is a wonderful oil to use, not just as part of like a self-love sort of ritual, just to get you ready for the day, but also as part of a self-pleasure practice. And which I think is really, really important for, I know, you know, a lot of guys in spiritual communities are really into no-fap, but I think for a lot of women in particular, if you don't already have a self-pleasure practice, you really need to get one, because I think that our feminine liberation is not going to come about without our sexual liberation, and that has not come yet. Like, you know, we had the sexual revolution in the 60s, but it was basically just a revolution where we started being extremely free and loose with our bodies and not really honouring feminine sexuality completely as different to male sexuality, and we just started to behave like men. And that's kind of where feminism has kind of gone a little bit off key and needs to be brought back into line with the sacred feminine. I'm going to do another video on why I don't call myself a feminist, why I will not call myself a feminist, why I'm no longer a feminist, because I think that feminism is destroying the sacred feminine, and it's like a whole other topic that I need to talk about another time. But this is a wonderful oil to use as part of a self-pleasure practice, and like really, really try and like honor yourself as part of your self-pleasure practice. Like, don't just go like straight, you know, for the goods, because if a man did that to you, you would probably feel quite disrespected. So, you know, don't do that to yourself, really. Like, and I know what it's like, sometimes you just want to like, just being, you know, if people are offended by this kind of talk, then you can click onto another video. But I know sometimes you just want to like rub one out if you're feeling anxious, or if you're struggling to get to bed, or if you're experiencing menstrual cramps. But trying to kind of take it slow with yourself. As you treat yourself, that's how you show other people how to treat you. So if you want a man, or, you know, even if you're not in relationship with men, you know, if it's another woman or a non-binary individual that you're in a relationship with, if you want them to really honor you and honor your sexuality, then you have to be able to do that yourself, and you have to know what pleases you and what turns you on. So this oil with these particular fragrances is just wonderful for that. Just the smells of it will really, really help to awaken your sensuality and that kind of sexual fire. and it will help to energize you as well, because feminine sexual energy is much more energizing than masculine sexual energy, which can be more kind of depleting. So yeah, that's a great one to do. Okay, so I think I've talked for long enough now, and I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, because it really does help boost it in the algorithm. Share it with anybody who you feel might want to you know, try this oil for themselves or learn more about the sacral chakra. I would really, really appreciate if you kind of help this video get to the right people who need to see it. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Hit the bell notification. I am trying to do one video a week at the moment, but sometimes, you know, it might be like 10 days here or like 5 days here. So I've not been able to stick to an exact schedule because I'm so busy with setting up my businesses at the moment, which I always have a link in the description box below, so you can follow me on Instagram to stay up to date with that. But yeah, once a week is kind of the schedule that I'm really, really trying to stick to. But if you hit the bell notification, then you'll get the notification when I do the new video, so you don't have to keep on checking back if you're enjoying the content. So yeah, thank you, lovers. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your attention, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.
You're introduced to LSD, and unless you've taken some other drug, like for instance like marijuana or something, well, you know, it's an altogether new thing, and you actually can have a religious experience